What's up, everybody? Welcome into the DNVR Broncos pregame show presented to you by Coors Light. I'm enjoying a nice, refreshing Coors Light to start the show. If you want a beer that is made to chill, then you gotta choose Coors Light. We're chilling here. We're having a good time. I wanted to talk to Knowshon because we do have a bet, an ongoing bet.
Ongoing bet.
Because, you chugged the Coors Light last week. And, you talked to us about, double or nothing. And I just said, yeah, let's do it. I didn't know, and I didn't think that we're playing the Chargers and they're holding teams to 12.5 yards a game. Best defense in the league as far as points per game. So we might have to double or nothing again and just enjoy 2 Coors Lights next week. But if you want Coors Light delivered straight to your door, go to CoorsLight.com/DNVR. And it's myself, Knowshon Moreno, Jurrell Casey. We're here talking about the Denver Broncos versus the Los Angeles Chargers. How you guys feel about this game? You think it's going to be a good game for the Broncos?
I think it's going to be a big game for the Broncos. I think it's a good one. I think divisional game, we trying to stay ahead of the division, and we trying to get, Bo going, right? And I think this is a big game for him to get really going, and he's doing a heck of a job this season, getting this season kicked off, I feel. He throwing at a 61% quarterback rating. He's hitting almost every one of his receivers. Mm-hmm. I think this is a game where he now start taking those smarter deep play balls and start taking chances, especially with Joe Bosa being out this week. He's been out this week as a big deal for the Broncos. Take that pressure off of him, let him sit back there a little bit more comfortable and get after these guys. I think it's going to be a big one.
All right. Well, I don't know, man.
Here it comes.
Here it comes. Nah, I think this is going to be a tough game. I think it's going to be a tough one for us. We got some injuries on the O-line.
Big injuries.
It's not very fortunate for us. You know what I mean? Want to protect Bo as much as you can, keep that run game going, right? So that injury right there is going to hurt us a little bit. And we got some injuries there on defense, but nothing too crazy. Well, I think this is going to be a close game, though. I think it's going to be another close one. You mentioned it. You said that the Chargers are doing well on defense, right? They're holding some teams to some low points. And we know how we are on offense. You know what I mean? It's a roller coaster with this offense, right? So I'm more tipping my hat off maybe to this defense, right? Hopefully they can do what they did last week. Maybe even put a score on the board for us again. Keep us on the opponent's end of the field, right? So we can get easy field goals, we can get easy touchdowns, and we get another win ugly, right? At this point, man, I know what the offense is, all right? I'm not expecting any more or less from this offense. Uh-huh. It is what it is, all right? We know that Bo Nix is going to throw maybe 2 or 3 long balls just so you say, hey, defense, don't be too close to us. You know what I mean? Just to pull them back a little bit, even though the defense is going to say, all right, you're not going to throw it deep anymore. You know what I mean? Everything's going to be 10 yards or less. Yep. And hopefully a player, a wide receiver, or running back can make a play. Definitely. That's what this offense is, right? So hopefully this defense can just do what they did last week, and we can come out with a victory that's going to be ugly in a low-scoring game.
Yeah, it's going to be a little ugly. And what makes me just a little bit nervous is, the Chargers are coming off a bye, so they had like a little bit extra time to prepare. I don't know if it always worked for us, though. I can't say that I won every game after a bye. Did you guys feel like that extra time was always good, or sometimes they like throw you off your game? Because like I'm kind of in the rhythm, I'm getting going, especially early in the season, like week 4. I mean, week 5, nobody wants to buy week 5. Like we're just starting to get it going. You know what I'm saying? So you guys think the Chargers will be more prepared this week, or a little bit like less prepared?
I think probably a little bit. I would say a little bit less. Like you're saying, that early bye week is kind of mental for you, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, dude, why we got a break right now? What? And so I think a lot of guys more so, it's like, why did we have this break? Not necessarily saying I'm gonna take care of myself and do what a lot of guys at that early stage like, dude, I'm cool. I'm gonna go party a little bit there. I might go hang out. So let's hope that was the case this week, right? And they want to go do that. Yeah. But let's see what this game gonna turn out to be. But who knows? They might be well rested and ready to go. Mm-hmm. And for both of them to still be out this week, they might. You don't know what that real West look like. So.
That's what I'm saying. I think for a Chargers team, this bye week probably was good for them. I feel like Justin Herbert has not been playing like the Justin Herbert we're accustomed of seeing. We usually see him, throw for plenty of yards and doing great in that pocket, but he just hasn't been able to, I guess, hit that stride this year yet. I don't know if it's a little bit of injuries and just not hitting that stride yet. New offense with Harbaugh, right?
Yep.
So I think for the Chargers, this might be a good thing. Get some of their guys that were injured back, right, and kind of get a fresh start on taking the long season now going forward, right? So I think for the Chargers, this was probably a good weekend for them, for a good bye week for them.
Yeah, they probably needed it. I mean, they did start the season 2-0, and then they went on a 2-game losing streak. So, it might have refreshed your memory just a little bit. But you brought up Justin Herbert. So we got to talk about it. Herbert versus Bo Nix, 2 Oregon quarterbacks. They actually met in college. Bo Nix got the upper hand and won that game. But it's really weird seeing these 2 quarterbacks play. I think neither of them are playing the kind of football that we're accustomed to seeing just yet. Like, Herbert's averaging under 150. Bo's averaging more yards than Herbert right now. Bo has had a few interceptions earlier to start the year.
He had a couple.
A couple of few.
Same thing.
A couple.
No, but he's throwing like 5 or 6, right?
No.
Bro,
4.
he at least got 5.
4.
All right, I'm gonna look it up.
He had 2 games back-to-back with 2, and then he hasn't given up any more since then.
He only has 3?
Went to Portland last week too.
No, interceptions.
Oh, interceptions.
He's talking about
4.
touchdowns, not interceptions.
4 interceptions on the season.
Okay, sorry.
So
Stop.
he's, I'm gonna say he's coming into his own. But for Justin Herbert as a veteran quarterback, highly touted, recognized, probably like definitely a top 10 quarterback in the league, definitely making the money like a top 10 quarterback. Why is he throwing for only 146 yards a game? Like, what is happening with this offense?
I think it's just. Listen, it's not the same faces on that Chargers team that we're accustomed to.
Yeah.
He don't got the weapons like he used to have.
Yeah.
Right? So he has to play a little bit of a role in it, right? And like I said before, it's a new system, the Jim Harbaugh system, right? So maybe he's trying to get accustomed to that. But yeah, it is kind of weird to see him that he's struggling, during the beginning parts of the season. But
it's always an adjustment, like you say. When you have a new coach and you're trying to get in the rhythm of trying to get your team going and get in the flow of, okay, this is how we operate timing. This is how we, get guys into certain routes, get out the breaks, hit them here. That stuff is hard to adjust to for quarterbacks. Like you said, he is a veteran, so it's something that he should definitely be able to make an adjustment to. But as we start learning these days, is that a lot of these quarterbacks, they don't take the time. They don't take the time. And who knows if he's actually over there putting the work in and with these receivers in the offseason, getting extra study in. Is he out there doing extra work with his guys in practice or not? Justin Herbert, he's a great quarterback. He's going to be continually put up numbers, but is he going to be a Tom Brady guy who's going to be out there and be a leader? Mm-hmm. Not every quarterback is a leader, right? Can get their guys going. We'd love to see that be him, and he can get the Charges rolling, but right now we don't need him clicking, so it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, we want to see him do that after this game. You know what I'm saying? No, but when you look at this team, like everything is always expected. Like the team goes as Justin Herbert goes, and that's not really been the case when they found wins. It's really been J.K. Dobbins who's been on the ground, averaging 130 yards a game in their wins. The Broncos, we've been solid on run defense, but we also have not been the best at times. And I know if we have any plays like we had to start the Raiders game, the Raiders got away from the run because they were down so far. I don't think that the Chargers are ever going to stop running the ball. That's Jim Harbaugh. That's his type of offense, his style. Like, he wants to pound the rock. He has to be able to run the ball. So I think it's important for us to be efficient on offense and not give them a chance to kind of control the game by being able to run the ball.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And like we say, he doesn't have the pieces that he used to, right?
Yeah.
So, let's see if that run game gets back to where it was. And let's put someone, who we going to put on Lad McConkey, probably like a Moss or someone like that. Or, you know what I mean?
Why'd you pick Moss?
Why? Because why? Because white boy. No, that's not what I'm doing. But yeah, you shut him down. I mean, and make them a one-dimensional team.
Yeah,
I think would be good.
Definitely. And this is where the ball control come into play, right? Where I talk about every week. Sean Payton calling the right plays, making sure Bo ain't taking no crazy shots downfield, getting no screen plays involved, getting no hitch plays, letting your players make guys miss. And this is where Javonte Williams step in, right? He got to get out there and go crazy.
Yeah.
This is where you run the ball, you keep the ball in your hands, you run that clock, and you keep your offense in the best safe positions possible, and you give your defense as much rest so when they get out there, they can step up to the plate and be ready to perform.
And Esteban, I think, will be back today too, right? I think he's back off of injury.
Who?
Esteban.
Yeah.
So, it'd be good to get another back in there, another big body. So, got to keep this run game going.
I'm always like torn between like having 3 good backs or 2 backs that you really trust, and like, you know what I'm saying? Because then you have 20 bodies taking all the carries, and I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I feel like we're finally seeing Javonte, like the last 2 games, kind of, get into a stride. I don't know if this is going to like hinder him if now he has another person taking more carries.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, he's been rolling, like you said, right? So do you, take out the hot hand at this point? That is kind of tough, but Sean Payton and that coaching staff, they like Estime, though, right? They drafted him, so they want to see him out there. So to have him just sitting on the bench, I don't think they'll have him sit on the bench too much, but I think he'll get spots in the game for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah, because he's a young back. He's physical. He runs downhill. I think there's definitely a place for him to prove his worth or show how much he can mean to the team. Yeah. I just don't want it to hinder other positions.
Definitely.
And that offense is going to have, a long day ahead of them, facing a pretty good defense. And also, we've lost Mike Belinci. Now we lost Alex Balchevsky. He's inactive today. Like, we got some turnover in the front 5 with the offensive line, and we need those guys to be as comfortable as possible to be able to put together a good running game. Because like you said, Bo Nix needs a solid running game to really be his best. He can't, do it all right now. I think he's still building, and we all want to be Bo-leavers, but in order for us to start to Bo-leave fully in Bo, he needs that offensive line to be on point, and that's a big ask for them today.
And I think it's going to be critical for sure, and they have lived up. I think they lived up to the challenge so far.
Who?
The O-line. I think they have done a very great job.
Yeah.
I think they have done a very great job
rate
so far.
Rate it real quick.
As a unit?
Yeah, as a unit, just rate it real quick. Let me just.
Their run game blocking, I would say I'll give them about an 8.5.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
8.5 in the run game.
8.5. So that's
Javonte,
like A-.
The last 2 games, Javonte have been getting busy. This is where I wanted to ask.
4.5.
I wanted to ask you.
4.7
because you have been with what's how you say his name? Estime.
Yeah.
So you've been with Estime in training camp, and I don't know much about Estime. I ain't never seen his film and done stuff like that, so I can't say if he's good or not. Is it something that where you pull Javonte out and you say, hey, let's give him a good shot? Because this O-line has been pinning some good holes up there. And Javonte Cuts right now is looking fabulous. And you talking about he's picking up almost 5 to 6 yards a carry at this moment.
Yeah.
He's balling. And you don't now go and you go get a guy and pull him out when he's running like this at the moment. And then then on the pass game, I'll say especially the last 2 games, Bo been walking back there pretty clean.
Oh yeah, 7 sacks on the season.
That's good.
That's great. But I love that.
That's great.
Yes, and they gave up 3 last week. And the 3 weeks before that, they gave up none.
Okay, yeah.
So I think they were.
That was the week before that. That was the bad game in the weather, right? That was Jets game. I mean, okay.
And then, but also to the Bucks, they gave up no sacks.
And they were injured prone, but okay.
Hey, listen, man.
It's always there's an argument for everything.
We can only play what y'all put in front of us.
Right, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? We ain't asked y'all to be.
This O-line has been pretty solid, dude.
But
whoever y'all bring to the game,
y'all going A- with the offensive line.
With injuries.
Mike
injuries.
Belinci went out. Palchevsky came in there and was graded very highly for weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Last week, Palchevsky goes out. Garrett Bowles goes down. And they give up 3 sacks. But I think for the majority of the game, I think they had a really solid game. So I think overall,
give me some.
Our line is a B+.
Yeah, I'm in the B's.
B+.
I'm in the B's.
Yeah. I think that's really solid.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? You're above average, B+. You get into any college, you got all B+. You get into any college in the country. You know what I'm saying? I think they're playing at a high level
at this moment.
So they just got to keep it going. They got to keep it going. And another piece of this team that has to keep it going is the defense. Because so much of our success is predicated on the defense being able to get after opposing quarterbacks and take the football away. Out. Like, we need another one of those games. This defense that we're playing has been pretty good. I think they have 11 sacks in 4 games. We have 19 sacks in 5 games.
Yeah, that gotta be almost like the lead. That gotta be top 5.
Yeah, we're top 5
in sacks.
And I think this is going to be a defensive battle. So I really need us to come and show up and stop the run and get the ball away. We've done it to Justin Herbert before, but what do you think is our key this week, in this game in particular, about getting the ball and getting takeaways from this Chargers offense?
us, like you said, the biggest key is just locking down, right? Getting in the lanes, putting pressure on the quarterback. If we get as much pressure we did last week on these quarterbacks, we're able to get Herbert off his rhythm and, let Moss and Pat do what they do best, lock down and come up with these interceptions. We're in a ball fight. But the biggest thing is getting pressure on that quarterback. If we can't get pressure on the quarterback from our front, then I think he's going to have a field day back there sitting around dumping and digging, trying to get himself into a rhythm. The biggest thing is getting pressure on that quarterback up front. And with Zach Allen and Jones and them guys, they've been doing a great job at it. I think, this is where Vance Joseph, he does what he does best, and he dial up these pressures and get these guys busy.
Yeah, I think we've been doing well with getting pressure on the quarterback, right? I think for today, first of all, in the last couple weeks, in the beginning of the game, the defense, like the run game, has been a little suspect on defense,
Yes.
right? They
To start, for sure.
just to start,
Yes.
right? And then they start getting into their groove, and then it's like they're not getting nothing, right?
Yep.
So I would like to see this defense and this defensive line, in particular, to go ahead and start this game strong. I'm talking about the DJ Joneses, the guys in the interior. I'm talking about the Roaches, those guys, right?
Yep.
To stop, to clog up that middle, make them have to jump and bounce or whatever the case may be, because Harbaugh's going to run the ball. So I'm really looking for this defensive line in the middle. You know what I mean? To step up.
It's crazy to say that because I've been looking at the film the last couple of weeks as we've been watching, right? And Vance Joseph, he sends a lot of pressure, right? Mm-hmm. And so the D-line are doing a lot of slanting or going in a certain direction. And I think that's what kind of hindered them a little bit in this run game a little bit. Yeah, they're doing a great job. Don't get me wrong. The play calling is great. Your linebackers flow, DBs come down, make plays, and that's what this defense is about. So you're probably not going to see this D-line just dominate up front because they're never really just going straight ahead, attacking in their run fits. A lot of times they're always slanting from one gap to another. And so that's why I was like, why didn't I use the hands? Why didn't I use the hands, right? And a lot of times because they're always on a move stunt. And they're, you got to rip through, get through a gap. And it's hard to get through that gap and then come off with your hands and try to make a tackle. So, unless they're coaching them how to slant and use your hands properly, it's going to be kind of tough to see them this year start making those tackles. The way we want them to be dominant, pushing lines back, shedding a block, making tackles right for a loss, that's going to be pretty tough unless they just ripping past guys, making them miss and shooting through a gap, making a tackle.
I want to keep talking about the defense and, the stunts and the pressures because as we know, you're one person away from always letting the team hit a big run. And when you're slanting, those gaps get really blurry and it's sometimes hard to see it. But before we dive into that, let me tell you about our friends over at Coors Light. Once again, Coors Light is the beer that is made and brewed chill. And it's made for you to be chill. You know when it's chill, when you see the blue mountains, the Rockies light up on that can. That's how you know it is time to chill. And I think this is the perfect time to chill. You guys are watching my favorite pregame show in the nation. You can chill, have a beer. You can come to the bar. A lot of good games going on before the Broncos start. You can grab yourself a Coors Light, and you can sit back, relax, and chill. Come hang out with us, man. We love, all of our fans, and we love having drinks with y'all. Wouldn't mind a Coors Light.
You might catch Knowshon chugging away a beer later.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
No,
because
wait a minute.
what do you mean? You could do 2. You have to do 2 this week.
Yeah, we
Hold on,
double
let's
or
just
nothing.
come up with a whole nother bet.
No.
How about that? Because this is going another. I mean, a little more yard. 100 and what? What did I say?
175.
175.
Why
175, two tugs.
Why you think of
You
another
get that
bet?
175, two tugs.
You guys can get Coors Light delivered straight to your door through Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/DNVR. Remember to celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Now we started talking about the stunts and the pressures. We pressure at a very high rate, and a lot of times that's good. But with those pressures, like we are always having a player avoid an area to create that pressure, and if Justin Herbert is able to find it, it's really tough. And as you know, what I'm saying he could really pick apart our defense.
And that's where, the beauty of knowing how to dial it up as a coordinator comes into play. You know where your weak spots at. You know where you got to hit them. And you have a guy like Patrick and Moss who's locked down. You don't worry about that no more. You feel me? You have guys on that back end. PJ can play. They do their thing. So I think that would kind of let Vince go out there and dial up these pressures as much as he can. Because when you have a secondary who can perform the way they perform and can play matchup one-on-one coverage, I remember being in Tennessee and those guys been out there with Logan, KB, Adore, and all those guys. And that's all we did. Dick LeBeau sent nothing but man pressure. Because when your DBs can play big man ball and come downhill and play in the box, you can take a shot here and there, but the little dunks and dinks ain't gonna beat you. So I think they're gonna be okay.
So we can stick with it. We can keep running the pressure.
You can keep dialing it up
as long
for
as
sure.
our back end continues to play like they're playing right now, and I think
For
they're
sure.
capable of it. I think Riley Moss is playing with a lot of confidence right now. And I think he's stride for stride playing with Pat right now. I know he gave us some penalties early in the year, but the kid can play, man. I think he's playing at a really high level, and that brings us to our next segment, our game changers. We all have some guys that we feel like are going to make a big impact in this game. And, I guess I'll start with mine. I think Courtland Sutton is going to have a good game this game. I think this is a good game for Court. He is going up against some pretty good DBs, but this is a game where we need him to step up and make big plays. When Bo needs somebody to come with a big catch, when we need 10 yards, when we need 12 yards, when we need a touchdown in the red zone, we got to take the chances and get that ball to Courtland Sutton. I think this is a good opportunity for him to put his stamp on the game, take control of this game, and really show that he's a top-tier wide receiver. It's always the argument, where is he at? Is it opportunity? Is it, his ability? I think that Courtland could be a top-tier wide receiver if he's given targets and opportunity. So I look for this game to be a game that, Sean really stresses that and allows Bo to go out there and take some shots and uses Courtland as his main target.
Well,
y'all didn't agree? All right.
I'm
by
thinking about it. I'm thinking about it.
I'm by myself on that one.
I'm
I don't know.
thinking
Tell me
about
in the chat. Let me know if you guys agree with me.
Yeah, of course he's gonna have a big game. He's our
That's our guy. That's
that's what I'm saying. I'm like,
he always gonna change the game.
When he gets opportunities.
He gonna do his thing. Long as Bo put the balls in his hand.
Well, Bo, don't get too locked on him though. You know what I mean? Spread it out a little bit, and he did a good job of that a couple games ago, spreading the ball out, throwing to all the different receivers.
Is that some Bo love? I think that's some Bo love.
I'll give you the respect. I'll give you the respect and give you credit when it's earned and you do good things.
There you go. I like that.
And he did spread the ball around a couple games ago. So, keep doing that. Don't get locked on just one guy and just throw it up to him and cause turnovers and things like that. But, Sutton is definitely going to have to play a big role today. For me, I think my game changer is going to have to go to that interior defense like I was talking about earlier on that defensive line. DJ Jones, baby. I need him to go ahead and clog up that middle. He's been playing, like you said, Jurrell, he's been playing really well. I think that whole D-line's been playing well. And we talked about the defense, of course. But, I need the interior defense to stop these runs. They're going to run more than they pass. I think they only pass, they passed under 100 times this year in 5 games. Okay, so they're not going to pass much. And if it's in one of these close games, of course, they're going to run the rock. So I need DJ Jones and whoever's in that middle to stuff it. And let's move on and get the ball back to the offense.
I'm with you on that for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I think it's big. Couple sacks out of big man would be beautiful, but I don't think that's his ball game right now, right? His job is to clog up that middle, give these guys free run range, and let his little man fill in the holes and get busy. But D. Jones, he go out there and he can get busy, get that pressure in that backfield, put those hits on Herbert a little bit, because he gets back there. He gets hits on the quarterback pretty often. And so for him to be able to see how he, at a nose guard, to be able to be nimble and get in those spaces and make havoc, this is a game for him mid-season to now turn it on, right?
Yeah.
Get that pressure, actually turn them into sacks. So I think this would definitely be big for him, 110%.
Yeah, I think this is why the team as a whole has been successful to this point. Like, the linebackers have looked great. I think the secondary has looked great. But I think it all starts with the front. And, DJ Jones, Zach Allen, even the edges, Nick Bonito, Cooper, I think they've been playing really, really good football. And when your front can rush as well as they do and, hold up in the run as well as they do, it allows you kind of to take your mind off it. Because I think there's nothing worse for a corner than having to think about your run fit. You know what I'm saying? Because your guys aren't filling their holes, pause. It's important, for them. It's important for them to have the front really step up and make plays.
Definitely. So my game changer of the day is your guy, Bo Nix. I believe over here. I think this is another day where Bo Nix go out there and put up 250. Probably
tell me
3 tugs.
Okay, I'm holding to it.
No, we already made the bet.
Tugs.
We already made the
That's
bet.
the bet.
No, that's
I'm a
different.
believer.
He's talking about
Leave it up to me and him. Leave it up to me and him.
He is waiting for
Leave it up to me and him.
I'm a believer.
I'm
a believer.
That's fine.
I'm a believer.
Yeah.
He's stupid.
I'm not letting him pull me into that.
200, 2 tugs.
253 tugs. That's what you just told me. You just said
Okay. Okay. I think this is one of those games
And
he
that's
got to
fine.
go out there and do that.
do
Yes,
that.
yes.
He could do that.
He definitely can do it. But the bet, 200, 2 tugs. 200, 2
I think
tugs.
that's fair. This is like the #1 defense in the league for points per game.
Oh,
if he goes
my
out there and
God.
has 202 tugs, that's better than what every betting
not bad.
odds
Yeah.
is saying that he's going to have.
That's his average.
You got the
200.
bet?
I'm more of a
Yeah, I'll
250.
You got the bet.
If I
I'm
shake,
done.
if I shake his hand and shake your hand, that means it's
250,
good.
250, 3 tugs. Yeah, I'm with that.
Oh, my
I
God.
feel like he probably could do that, especially if the receiver's making plays. You know what I mean? Throw it 5 yards or less, like you've been doing.
Bo Nix got
10
it, my
yards,
guys.
10
Game
yards or less.
changer of the day. And then another bet. Hey, whoever had the best game changer today, the other two will do 10 push-ups right here on the show in front of y'all.
Wait, we
And
didn't do that
then
last week.
We're
I
going to
had
do
the
that.
best,
Hey,
but I had the best game changer last week for sure.
Hey, that was the bet last week.
All right, bet.
That wasn't the
Well, I
bet
said
last
Corlin
week.
and I. I'm good with that.
We good?
Yeah.
Bet.
Bet,
We on.
bet,
How
good.
do we judge that though?
Oh, y'all be the judge.
I
Y'all
think you
tell
can
us.
tell.
Oh, okay. I mean,
Y'all
like
tell
last-
us.
Yeah, we'll put a
Y'all
poll. Last
tell
week,
us.
Javante led the team in rushing and passing.
He
I
did.
feel like
Yeah,
he
you would have got it
probably
last
would've
week.
got it.
You would have got it for sure.
So y'all owe me 10 from last week. But while you guys are on here looking at all these bets, and give us some thumbs up, man. It really helps the show. We love coming to you guys pregame. And we got a couple more bets for you guys. First of all, the one brought to you by DNVR and Bet365. I really think this is some good odds and, a good parlay to put together. So we got the Chargers versus Denver Broncos. We got under 19.5 points for the LA Chargers. We've held the last 3 opponents to under 19 points. So I think that's not a gimme, but I think it's a really, really good bet to take right now for the Broncos. Javonte Williams to score a TD. We're going to need the running game to be involved. He hasn't got in the end zone yet. And for me as a bettor, I'm just going to bet that he gets in the end zone until he gets in the end zone because it has to happen sooner or later. And also the money line for the Denver Broncos. That's the Broncos winning again. That's plus 600. So if you put $100 in, you'll win 600. Means you get $700 back. Take your lady out on a nice date. Come down to the bar, buy some shots, buy some drinks. I think you guys will have a good time with those winnings. So that's our bet. And we also have one more bet for you guys. It's a bet that we put together, and it's brought to you by Bet365. Our pregame bets are brought to you by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. And we got 3 good bets for you guys right here. We got Bo Nix anytime touchdown is plus 250. He had 3 of them last week. He's had a touchdown in the majority of the game. So at any time within the entire game, whether it's rushing or passing, Bo Nix could have a touchdown. I think that's a really easy bet for you guys to take. And I think that's really going to come through. The Broncos money line, same thing as our DNVR picks. Broncos money line plus 130. That's a solid pick because we do believe that this is a winnable game for the Broncos. And it's going to extend our winning streak to 4 games. And then Cortland Sutton, my game changer, plus 260 anytime touchdown. So I will parlay definitely the first 2 because I think the touchdown is going to be Bo Nix to Cortland Sutton in the back of the end zone, 8-yard touchdown.
It's money time, Bo.
What if I just got it
time.
like 100% correct? Like I feel like I should win more. Like if they hit Bo Nix in the back of the end zone, 8-yard touchdown.
If that happens,
Yeah.
If they can't hit Bo Nix in the back of the end zone, but where's Sutton in the back of the end zone? I'm just messing with you. But I think we can work something out there. Probably.
Yeah, we'll think about something.
We
Y'all
can
throw
work
some
something out there.
ideas. If I get it, I'm saying 100% right. Y'all throw some more ideas out there. But yeah, that'll do it for our show. I think we had a good time hanging out with you guys. The show is about to start in about 5 minutes. You guys don't want to miss it. The Broncos versus the Chargers. I think it's going to be a good game. And then after the show, it's going to be myself, Todd Davis, Jurrell Casey, Knowshon Moreno, and we're having a special guest. My boy Benny Fowler will be on the post-game show. So we'll have 2 offensive guys versus 2 defensive guys. So it'll be a little bit more balance for Knowshon.
There we
know
go.
what I'm saying? We won't be all against them all the time.
Hey,
we just talk the
unis
truth
is
over here.
cold today. The orange and the blue.
Yeah,
like
see the
those?
orange blue type.
Those
Okay.
are nasty.
Yeah.
I wish I would have had some nasty uniforms
Orange
like
and blue,
that
they
back
got
in my
orange
day.
top,
The
low.
orange top with the
Yeah,
blue
with the
bottoms.
I've always liked the blue ones. The blue ones are always
dark blue.
comfortable. The dark blues are comfortable,
Those
so I like how they
unis
switch
is
it
nasty,
though.
dog. I think they doing some cold things with their unis this year.
Back-to-back
As long as they
weeks
keep
with
on
some fire
playing.
With some
unis.
fire.
Let's hope it leads to back-to-back wins. We'll see y'all on the
Big
post-game
dubs.
show.
Victories.
We all silly like the mayor.